Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today we're going to talk about speed control on follow shots and draw shots. So what do we talk about when we say speed control? What are we talking about exactly? Let's say we're playing the 7 ball in that corner pocket down there, and we need to leave the cue ball in a zone that is between these two balls. Shots like this where you're going down table, you're covering a lot of territory, 6-7 feet down table, has a lot different speed control issues than a shot where you're playing a shorter shot and you need to get in the zone. So as you can see, we got in the zone here. Now, just to give you an example, if we had to take this shot and land in that same zone, much easier shot. So we can just come down, play our ball in, roll up just a little bit, and we land in that zone. If we needed to get in a smaller zone with a follow shot at this distance, it would be even easier. Couple things change these shots though. One of the things that changes the shot is, do you have an angle? So on that one we had an angle. So you can see all three of them landed in the zone, but with different degrees of difficulty. Today I'm going to show you how to land in that zone a lot more often. The second part of the video, we're going to look at landing in those zones when you have a draw shot. Now, some of you will look at this shot and say, well, Bryan, I don't have that problem because I can't draw the ball back that far. By the end of the video, you will have a better draw shot. You will be able to draw the ball back further. And same thing with your follow shot. You will be able to follow the ball further. But there's an example of landing in the zone with a draw shot. So this is a crash course in shooting a good follow shot and a crash course in shooting a good draw shot, because this is going to help you with your speed control more than anything else. If your follow shot does not take the cue ball to the other end of the table and touch that rail, these are the things you need to fix. You are probably doing one of these few things. You're popping up on the shot. Your cue is not following through straight. You have too tight a grip on the cue, so it is in return popping up and not going through the ball straight. You're not following through, period. You got to follow through. You got your cue down. Now, if you don't follow through, it's not going to happen. Ironically, the biggest mistake even with advanced players is you can hit this ball higher than you realize you can. Bring the tip of your cue up, all right? Don't just look at our diagrams or the diagrams you see on other channels and say, oh, that's where I'm hitting the ball. Get away right now from tips of English elevated to determine where you are going to shoot your follow shot. So let's fix your follow shot in under 60 seconds. I have a whole video about your follow shots. Watch that video, but we are going to help you in 60 seconds. 1, if you can't make this ball follow to the other end of the table and touch that rail, here are the things you're probably doing wrong. Number 1, you're not actually following through on the shot. Let your cue follow through just like you do on a draw shot, just like you do on every shot in pool. Number 2, you might have too tight a grip on the cue, and as a result, the cue is coming up in the air on your follow through. That is taking energy off of this ball. Number 3, when you get down on the shot, hit the ball high, very high, probably higher than you feel comfortable. Don't play the 1-tip, 2-tip game. I'm telling you guys, there is nothing that is going to mess up your speed control more than trying to go from center ball to a tip above, to 2 tips above, to 3 tips above. All you've done is added another variable that you have to deal with when you're playing position. If you hit the ball in the same spot, and I suggest high as possible, watch a professional shoot a draw shot and shoot a stop shot. The ball's being hit in the same spot. How is that possible? Because if you hit it in the same spot for your follow as you do on your short follow shots as you do on your long follow shots, then you only have one variable to worry about, and that is cue speed. If you start moving up and down that ball, now you're 1 tip above and you're shooting it with a certain amount of speed, let's say 4 miles an hour, to get there. And if you want to get there and you move it up, now it's, I don't know, 5 miles an hour with 2 tips above. Find a spot on this ball, a spot preferably very high on the ball, probably higher than you feel comfortable, and stick with it. If I need to stop here or there, exact same spot. I only need to change one thing on my shot. That is the speed. There are situations where I will hit the ball slightly above center. You'll see on the diagrams on my corners where I'm showing you the diagram of where I'm hitting the ball. There are times that I am slightly above center. So you see that and you say, well, he said you should send it and hit it in the same spot. Anyway, I'm sure that's not what you sound like. That's just what some people sound like in my head. But when you see that spot that's just above center, that is usually just a rolling ball, guys. That is not a follow shot. Now that you know how to properly shoot that follow shot, your speed control has already improved. And you haven't even been back to the table yet. Well, some of you watch me while you're at the table. But you haven't been back to the table yet. Your speed control is already improved. Why? Because you have the proper stroke on it. If you listen, you're hitting it in the same spot all the time. So you have better control that way. But also, when you hit this properly, you can hit it a lot softer. And guess what softer gets you? More accuracy down there in that corner pocket on that shot, and better control as far as your speed goes. If you follow the advice in the last segment, your speed control has already improved. What do I mean? If you are now hitting the ball higher than you usually do, it's going to travel further with a softer stroke. If you're following through and you're holding the cue properly and you have a level cue, it is going to travel further with a softer stroke. The reason most people have a difficult time with speed control is because they already hit every shot too hard. Nobody says, Brian, I have trouble with my speed control. I always undershoot the ball. You ever hear that? No. It's I always overshoot the ball. So when you get that follow shot down and you can hit it higher, allowing you to hit it softer, your speed control has already improved. If I stop the video right now, you're better right now than you were 10 minutes ago. Now, that said, we are going to look at how you practice this and get your speed control down. So those of you who know me, those of you that know this channel know I have a love-hate relationship with drills. But I'm going to show you 2 simple drills that are a lot of fun, by the way, that will allow you to develop your speed control when we're talking about these longer shots. Also, when you have these longer shots down, your speed control on the shorter ones, with the exception of draw, your speed controls on your shorter follow shots will be almost automatic. If you can follow this ball 3 zones down table, and the diamonds are going to be our zones, by the way. If you can follow this ball 3 zones down table and park it there, you'll be able to follow it 1 zone and park it. But we're going to work on the entire table. So this is how this works. Our cue ball is going to go 1 diamond from the pocket. Our object ball is going to be 2 diamonds from the pocket. And we are going to break our table up into zones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's going to be fun. Give me a second to set it up. This is the way we're going to set it up, but you guys don't have to do all of this. What we've done is we have broken this down into zones. Zone 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to randomly select a zone that we have to shoot our cue ball and have our cue ball land in that zone. The reason we're going to do it randomly is because we don't want to cheat. Now, what do I mean by that? If I give you a test on the pool table and I say you need to follow it to zone 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2, like a lot of people do with their drills, what happens is, let's call it your short-term muscle memory, aids you in making that shot. I know what the 5 felt like, so getting to 4 is that much easier. And then getting to 3, if I'm doing it progressively and trying to get the ball to stop in those different zones, it's a lot easier than if I have to shoot a 1 and then a 4 and then a 5 and then go back and forth. So what you want to do is make it random. Either have one of your kids call out numbers between 1 and 5, roll a die, and use whatever number comes up between 1 and 5. Now that you have a fun drill you can play with, what I want you to do is actually make it different. What do I mean by that? If I shoot it the same way I did over and over again, I'll get good at shooting it straight in. But what happens when you have a cut shot? When you have a cut shot, everything changes. So if I need to cut this in and land in zone 5, that's a big difference because I'm going to be coming off of this rail. If I need to land in zone 4, again, I'm coming off the rail. Zone 3 might be impossible, but you're also going to move these balls around. So let's say I'm starting there and I'm almost 2 diamonds away. This is going to change the drill up too. So you start out working with them in that fixed location and then you separate them, and that's how you get better at shooting it at different distances, because guess what? In the real world, you're not going to have them that far apart each and every time. Sometimes you're going to be like this, and sometimes they're going to be like this. And by moving this ball around, once you get the first part down, then everything else is going to fall into place as far as longer, balls are further apart, balls are closer, etc. So move the balls further back when you get better at it, and then you say, Alexa, give me a random number between 1 and 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 4.
So now we're going to land in our zone after making the shot. Just like that. Ooh, thought that was going to roll out on me. But you get the point. How do we work this into our draw shots? Let's take a look. First thing a lot of you need to do is improve your draw shot. I got a gazillion videos on shooting a good draw shot. I'm going to give you a recap on some of the things you might be doing wrong. When you improve those things, you immediately have better speed control. But we are talking about longer draw shots. You're covering more distance, and landing in those zones is no joke. It's going to be a lot more difficult. But here are the things you need to fix in most cases. You need to be able to hit the ball softer. That is going to give you better speed control, period. By hitting the ball softer, it means you're going to have to do other things better than you might already be doing them. Good follow through. You're hitting the ball scary low, guys. I know you're scared you're going to miss cue and pop the ball off the table and all of that. If you hit the actual cue ball, you can hit it ridiculously low and not scoop the ball. The reason you're scooping the ball is because you are flinching in some way and dropping your cue, the tip of your cue, below the ball. Stop looking at the tip of your cue and saying, oh, I need some masters on there. No, that's not the case. 90% of the time when you miss cue, it had nothing to do with your chalk. It had to do with you not hitting the ball where you think you were hitting it, or hitting it not too low, but underneath the ball. So lower, more level cue, lighter grip so that your cue is not moving around as you follow through on that shot. I don't care if you drop your elbow. I don't care if you do any of those things, as long as you have a consistent stroke and you have it down so well that you can hit it softer than you hit it right now. How do you get there? Lower level stroke, good follow through, punch through the ball, and you'll be able to hit it softer. So same drill, reversed. We can do this a number of different ways. We can do it down this rail. We can do it from this angle. Okay, this is pretty much fun. If you're an advanced player, give yourself this angle and try to land in the zone. So let's see what that looks like. Alexa, give me a random number between 1 and 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 5.
Okay, so this one actually takes a little bit of touch. And of course, we're coming in from an angle, so we're going to be headed this way. Not bad. We give ourselves another shot with an angle. Alexa, give me a random number between 1 and 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 3.
All right, so we're coming in, guys. We're coming in from an angle, so we have a lot of adjustment to make here. Speed, knowing that it's going to hit an angle, come off a rail very likely, unless our speed control is so dynamic that we can land in the zone without doing that. So here we go. I like that one. I think we're going to make it, oh, pretty nice. So very happy about those shots. But having these angles, again, that's an advanced player shot. What you want to do is you could set this up. You can actually go this way, guys. You don't have to go the long way. But work the shot here. These are 1 diamond apart. Alexa, give me a random number between 1 and 5.
Here's a number between 1 and 5. It's 3.
So we get down on our shot. You want to eyeball your zone. Don't just use your memory as far as where it is, especially if it's one of the middle numbers. You want to take a look at it. That's where I wanted to land. You can even point at it with your cue and then shoot your draw shot and try to get there. These numbers in here between 2 and 4 are going to be the most difficult ones. Make them your own. They don't have to look like Bryan's. You don't need the tape on the table. You could just shoot it. Will this masking tape hurt your table? No. But if you leave it down there for a long time, what will happen is the table will get dirtier and that area won't, and it's going to look silly. Anyway, that's what we have here. You work that drill. Your long speed control shots with draw and follow are going to get better, and make it your own. Thanks for watching. Hit us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate all of you who are subscribing. You're outstanding. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help your game. Have a great day.